Hello friends, this is Nirmal here for Technique and today we're going to review the Lenovo Vibe S1. So the Vibe S1 was launched a couple of weeks back, and this is a mid-range phone from Lenovo, and this is priced 15,999, and this comes with pretty impressive specs. It has a 5-inch Full HD display. It's powered by a MediaTek Octa chipset with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. And the specialty of the device is a front-facing camera. It has a dual front-facing camera that's first of its kind on a smartphone. It has this 8 megapixel plus 2 megapixel front-facing camera for great selfies, and it also has a 13 megapixel rear camera with dual tone LED flash. So this runs Android 5.0 Lollipop along with custom Vibe UI, and it also has a 2500 milliamp hour battery. So that's the spec aspect of the Lenovo Vibe S1. Now let's go into the detailed aspects. So first step, let's see the design and build quality. So design wise, the Lenovo Vibe S1 is one of the best looking devices from Lenovo in the recent times. It's all metal body, and it has this curved glass finishing on the front and the rear panel, and it looks really gorgeous. And you can see this the sides of the device are metal frame. It's made of aluminium, and you can see it comes in two colors. We have the blue variant, midnight blue variant, and overall it looks really good. The curved rear panel does give a great feeling. On top of that, it has Corning Gorilla Glass protection all round, and the power and volume keys have been given given the same finishing. You have the micro USB charging slot at the bottom. The speaker units are also located at the bottom, and on the top you have this 3.5 memory jack and the antenna along with the additional microphone. So that was the design aspect. So all in all, it's a really good looking device. While the device is really great looking, it also has this issue of being slippery, because this is glass finishing and it's extremely slippery, but it does give a good grip when you're holding it this way. But having said that, using the device, you need to be really careful. It might slip out of your hand because it's highly slippery rear panel which is made of glass. So design wise, this is a really good looking device, and also the build quality is top notch. Now it also has these 3 capacitive touch buttons. They are not backlit for some reason, but we would have expected Lenovo to do a backlit button on this device, but then that's missing. So that is a design and build quality aspect. You can see the front facing dual camera. It's an 8 megapixel and a 2 megapixel combination which produces great selfies. Now let's move on to the display. So this phone has a 5-inch Full HD display. That's a 920 by 1080p display, and the display quality is really good. Again, the display is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass, and the colors are really vivid, and the touch response is ultra smooth. It's really good display in this price point, and does work very well. The brightness levels are also pretty good. So all in all, the display is pretty good on the Lenovo Vibe S1. Now let's move on to the software and performance. So this phone runs Android 5.0 Lollipop instead of 5.1 found on most of the Lenovo smartphones releasing recently. So that's kind of surprising, but it does have some decent amount of options. You can see this UI is almost similar to what we saw on the Vibe Shot, but again it's a stripped down variant. Some of the features are missing on this variant when compared to the Vibe Shot, which also has Android 5.1 Lollipop. So this phone does have some great amount of options. You can see there is permission control, security zone, there is power manager. So the phone also supports a couple of gestures. You can see double tap to wake and a smart scene in white, and some of these options are also included. And overall the UI is pretty decent, and it's much more polished than a previous generation Vibe UI. So this is much better now. It does also come with theme center, but you cannot download more themes. It has limited number of themes, but still it does come with decent amount of options also included. Now this phone comes with 32 gigs of internal storage. That's really good, considering the capacity is pretty good in the budget, or rather mid-range category. And this also has micro SD card expansion slot. It's a hybrid dual SIM card, which means you can use either dual SIM cards or one SIM card with a micro SD card in case you need more storage, but you have to leave with one SIM card in that case. But overall this is a pretty good device because it comes with 32 gigs of internal storage. You might not really want to expand the storage, and you can use the dual SIM card facility. This also comes with 4G LTE support, and it's powered by an Octa chipset with 3 gigs of RAM. That's something very similar to the OnePlus X, and the performance is really good here. It does have really great performance, no lag or issues. The gaming performance also was pretty good. and the full HD display with great viewing angles was really good for gaming, and overall the device performance looks very good. So in the software and performance side, this is really good device with no lag whatsoever, and it does almost all jobs which has been put to it, even heavy multitasking and everything. It performs really well. Now let's move on to the camera aspect. So this phone comes with a 13 megapixel rear camera and front facing dual 8 plus 2 megapixel camera, and you can see we already done the review of this camera and found it to be a pretty good camera in this price point. You can see the camera interface does have a decent amount of features, although it's not really as high as what we saw on the Vibe shot. It does produce pretty decent shots. Now the front facing camera also has pretty good settings. You can choose the dual camera setup here. You can enable the dual camera and use it to get better selfies. So here are some of the samples which we have taken using this device, and the performance looks pretty good. The clarity looks pretty good. The colors could have been slightly better, but overall for a mid-range phone this is decent performance. And the front facing dual camera also works really well. You can see some of the shots which were taken, and there is also some added features included in this front camera where you can blur effects, you can add blur effects and also add the backgrounds. So you can check out our detailed camera review to see how the camera performance is. So overall we would say the camera performance was pretty decent in this mid-range category, and if you're looking for a good selfie experience, this is one really great camera. Now let's move on to the battery performance. So this phone comes with 2500 milliampere battery. That's not really high capacity battery when comparing a lot of devices in the mid-range category have 3000 milliampere battery like the Xiaomi Mi 4. So battery capacity is not really high, but the battery performance you would say is decent, and you can run through a day of usage with this device with moderate usage. Even with the heavy usage, you can almost get 1 day of usage, but then you can't expect to get more than a day with the 2500 milliampere battery, and we would say the battery performance is decent in this price point. Now summing up, this phone is priced 15,999. So is it really worth buying? So we would say this device is pretty good for selfie experience. It has great design and build quality. It's one of the good looking devices in this category. It has a brilliant display. The software and performance is again pretty good. It has 3 gigs of RAM and a 32 gigs of internal storage. There is micro SD card expansion slot. There is 4G LTE, and the UI is pretty decent, although not really the best in this category. So having said that, it's one of the devices with an all-round performance. We would say this is pretty decent value for money, except for the fact that it has a slightly low capacity battery. So that is one issue we would see. If you're a power user, you might not really get very high performance, but it's pretty decent for moderate usage. So overall we would say this device does have decent value for money all around, and 15,999 is a good pricing for this device. So that was the detailed review of the Lenovo Vibe S1. So hope you liked this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.